What's good, my zesty lemons? Thank you so much for stopping by Zesty Tarot. And today we're going to talk about, I think his name is Judge Lyman, Judge Leon, I don't know. But I know that he is referred to as Blake Lively's pocket judge. And so I wanted to kind of see for myself if that is true. I also did a little bit of research on him. Because I wanted to see if he was in any type of scandals. And he was a part of the Bank of America scandal. However, it was viewed as an accident or accidental oversight because his wife had stocks in the Bank of America, and so, you know, they was like, we're going to basically pat you on the wrist. You know, he seems to be very respected. He also handled, what's his name? It was the lawyer for our current president. Goodness, give me just a second because I am feeling tongue-tied right now. I think you know who I'm talking about, but I just can't think of his name. Let me see here. Give me just a second because it's going to drive me nuts. Never mind. Rudy Giovanni or something like that. Whatever. But, so he basically like slammed him and made him give up some of his assets. So I just want to see exactly what the current energy is for him to see if whether or not he is doing some underhanded dealings when it comes to Blake. Honestly, I think that he is dangling rope per se to see how far Blake is going to try to take it, and then once she reaches the edge, then you know what the saying is, going to lend you some rope and then you can just catch yourself up, basically, or the hanged man per se, without saying anything that someone would deem as disrespectful, if you will. I think that's what he's doing. He's giving her rope so that she can, you know, utilize the hanged man card. And so let's see exactly what's going on here. So if this is your first time watching me, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate you. And thank you for those that have subscribed. I really appreciate it. Thank you for finding enjoyment in my gift. Whether you disagree with me or not, I really appreciate what you're doing. You know, because it's not, to me, it's just about proving to myself, honestly, that there's no need for me to be scared of tapping into my gifts. So I really appreciate it. Like I said, whether you dislike the video, like the video, I really appreciate you for taking the time to stop by. And most importantly, I really appreciate you for helping me out to understand the case and really anything, because I wasn't getting that before. You know, people were just like, oh, can you do a reading on this? And then they would not. Some of them would. I'm not going to say that half, or most of them wouldn't. Some would provide feedback, but some were trolls, and I was like, I'm not gonna deal with that. So that really means a lot to me. So anyways, let's get back on track. Okay. I think it's Liman. Oh God, thank you so much for this opportunity to read for Honorable Judge Liman. And when it comes to this case, what is his current energy? What is his mindset when in regards of Justin Baldini and Blake Lively? And I know that there are others that are tied into this also, but I just want to see what his current mindset is. Things that he can't say out loud because, you know, he's not allowed to show any type of judgment of any kind just yet until he hears all of the facts. But I just want to know, like, how is he feeling as of right now? What is the current energy? So let's see here. I feel very strong right there. Stop trying to carry the world on your shoulders. So I think that this is a personal thing for him, but also this right here lets me know that he feels a lot of pressure from both parties, honestly. I feel like Blake is trying her best to get him to see her side, where she will, like I said, she will go up and beyond to try to prove that she has a case. And on Justin's side, they're chilling. They're like, you know, okay, we gonna sit back and we're gonna watch you throw your little temper tantrum, but we come with receipts. You don't have anything. And so they're really hoping that he will have this understanding, like, this is what's going on. Please don't listen to this girl, because she has, like they said, you know, this is based off of a fantasy, and they're really hoping that he understands that. So yes, he definitely on both sides is carrying a lot of weight, and I'm pretty sure he's like, I cannot wait until this hearing is done. Someone is in need of your love, offer it to them. I feel like that would be Blake for sure. You must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. And then you have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. And then we have let your feelings out. All of them, even the ones that scare you. Now, I know you might be like, well, what does this have to do with the reading? Because it taps into different things that may not have anything to do with this case. But I'm using these cards to see if I can get a feel of what's going on. So, I'm going to say that, honestly, he's very disappointed. I know that it's hard to not get on social media and see what's going on, because you have so many social media outlets covering this case. Everybody basically jumping on the bandwagon to try to make that quick dollar. Some of them might fabricate things. Some of them might give you the God's honest truth about it. So, I'm not going to say like someone is in need of his love as far as a romantic sense. And maybe if this is his personal business, you know, he's got some things that's going on. Maybe he's been overlooking that. We'll just say that. But honestly, I don't really care about that. I'm focusing on who he is. So you must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. And then with let your feelings out. I think that he is very disappointed in Blake, and he feels really bad for Justice. So this could be, you know, not so much love, but support for Justin Baldoni, because it's like, I can tell that you're on some bullshit. And you're trying to destroy this man because of some things that you did. Going back to the first reading that I did about her, she used her feminine charms to try to seduce, and then try to turn around and try to scream SH. That is nonsense, okay? So I feel like with you must forgive, that is the disappointment. You know what I mean? So let's just go ahead and get into it to see what I can get out of this. God, thank you so much. Can you tell me why you chose these cards for the judge? responsible for hearing the case of Justin Baldini and, did I say that right? Justin Boldo? I don't know. Justin Baldoni. There we go. And Blake Lively. I don't know why that feels like a tongue twister to me. I mean, this is the last day of the retrograde, so I'm going to blame it on that. All right, it feels good right there. I hope that you all are keeping warm. It is freezing outside. I do not, I mean, snow is beautiful, but I'd rather sit on a postcard or on television than actually experience it. Like, you can stay over there. Hold on. Right there, okay. I don't know why I keep moving these around. I think it's a tarot reader thing. We always move it around. And we're just going to move it again. All right, so we have the King of Wands, and it says to shine your inner candle light bright enough for others to follow. So I want to say that with this card being out, you know, you have some that are not the biggest fan of him, and then you have some that really respect him for what he does. But overall, I feel like his main goal is to shine light on the truth. That's all he wants to do. It's not so much about how much money he can afford. Some people might have their own opinions about it, and you might disagree with me right here and there, and that is okay. I don't know this man, nor do you know this man. You know, it's not like he's going to reach out to us and be like, well, you know, here's the tea. We're not going to get that ever unless he decides to speak up, but I don't think that he can do that anyways. So, I just feel like he's just shining his authority. Like, he's overseeing this. Yes, he has a lot of pressure on him, but he's handling it the way that he needs to. And from the vibes that I was getting from the research that I got, he don't play around. You know, I found out also that Blake Lively tried to ask for a gag order to prevent Justin from speaking about things, and this judge was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, he's really she's really trying to hush this up. It's like, look, I'm telling you that this happened, or I believe that it happened. Just believe me and just be done with it. And the judge is like, no, I'm not going to do that. So the Sun card here, give yourself permission to experience joy. I'm looking at this as the truth. He is definitely going to see the truth. You know what I mean? And I feel like I said, I think that instinctually he knows that Blake is full of crap. And he has sympathy for Justin. You know, we got to understand, he may have been a fan of Justin before. You know, maybe he didn't know him. I'm not for certain. But based off of what has, maybe, like I said, he may have known of him, probably really appreciated his work. So he might be baffled by the idea of Blake saying, well, he's this horrible person. But even in that light, he is not, I mean, okay, he is definitely going to side with the one that is in the wrong. But he does have compassion for Justin, not so much for Blake. And I understand that judges are supposed to be biased, they're supposed to be stern, and just focus on the facts at hand. But that does not mean that he cannot be a human being, okay? So we have the Page of Swords, and it says curiosity is a type of magic. So how I look at this, I think that he definitely is looking at Blake as a gossiper, someone that is trying to stir up drama, really trying to destroy this man, which we've said numerous times. You've also heard it on other channels, like she's trying to destroy this man. So he's definitely listening and taking in everything that she says. And he will hold her accountable, I feel. So we're at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands here. And it says, don't you see how your passion makes you glow? So I feel like right here, I think that he is definitely going to exert his truth. You know what I mean? Like once everything is said and done, once everything is out, he's going to straight up tell her like, look, I've heard enough, and this is what I think. And I think even the ones that scare you, I think that Lively is the one that's going to feel scared of what is going to come out of his mouth, because she's trying so hard to bamboozle this man, and it is not going to work at all. And she needs to be reminded that he has the power. You know, I'm going to make your life, unfortunately, a living hell for you because you came into my court and you wasted my time. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think, but, and after this, I'm not going to take blame for this. Nobody did this to themselves but you. So if you're going to be upset with my rulings, you got to be upset with yourself because you put yourself in that position. That's how I look at that. You did this to yourself. So you can't blame me. And I could see her trying to appeal this, trying to possibly sue the judge. I mean, I believe that she would go that far because she really wants to control the narrative, and I just don't think it's going to work out that way. Okay. I know it's just basic information and you're wanting me to tell you the full details, but my gifts are limited. Only thing I can tell you is the energy. Sometimes I can see it, sometimes I don't. So please give me some grace. What was this? We have the Ten of Swords right there. Let's see why he chose these cards. Why did you choose these cards, God? Right there, definitely. All right, so we have the Ace of Cups here. Then we have the High Priestess. Yeah, he knows. He knows exactly what's going on. We have the Four of Wands. And we have... What did I just do with the cards? Okay. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay. Well, I put it this right here. All right. So I want to say here soon. It could be on the 1st of next month, which is what Monday? I don't know. I'm not good at timing, but I'm just going to say that just because I see the Ace here, 1. So I'm thinking maybe, maybe 1 week, but there's I just feel like he's going to offer his truth, And then with the High Priestess shining light on that, And then with the Four of Wands, I believe that this is going to be a celebration for Justin for sure. He's going to make sure that everything is balanced out the way that it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like, while she's over here trying to destroy this man, I feel like this judge is going to give Justin the opportunity. And it's so sad to even say it like that, because I know that once she made these claims and she had other people lying for her, I'm sure he's lost endorsements. He was kicked off of his own movie, for heaven's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, that's terrible. So I think that this right here is the opportunity for him to build himself back up and have stability again. And as far as this card right here, we have the Eight of Wands. So there could have been some delays, and I kind of feel like he's ready for this hearing to be over with, but it's Blake that is dragging it out. Like I said, he's given her plenty of rope and just kind of waiting for her to just fall off that cliff. And it's like, well, we finally caught you, you know? So, I think he's going to wrap it up here soon, honestly. There could be delays, but things are going to happen at a rapid pace. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I don't see anything shady about him. I think that she assumed that if, you know, she chose him, I don't know. I think yeah, I guess that's why you call him the pocket judge. But I think that she set her own self up, honestly. She thought that she was going to play him for a sap, and it's going to be a huge slap in the face to her. I mean, think about Rudy Giovanni or whatever his name is. I'm pretty sure he thought that he was going to get away with whatever he was doing, and then when he got called out by him and had to sell his assets, and I think he had to sell one of his condos, some jewelry and some other things, like, he was not pleased at all. So that's what I'm saying. Like, some people are not going to be a fan favorite of him, but he's honestly just doing what he's supposed to do. He's living in his truth. I feel it right there. Yes. Hold on. That one's stronger. Oh, okay. Let me figure it out. Yeah, right here. Speaking of the Hanged Man, yeah, I think that I think currently he's sitting here and he's kind of pondering on it. I mean, I know he has to keep all these things to himself, but on a personal level, because you can't get in somebody's mind and be like, oh, you can't think that, you can't be thinking about that. I think he is pondering on it. And he's seeing things from a different perspective. Because I'm thinking that he's thinking like, the math ain't mathing. And you're creating all of this noise, because you know they say the squeakiest wheel gets the most oil. Well, I think that he's just going to pop that tire off. Like, I'm not going to deal with you. We have the Nine of Wands here. So, I think that he's prepared to hurt her feelings. Whatever that might mean. Like, there's some anxiety there. But I kind of feel like he's the type of individual that's like, you know, I've been called worse by better. You know, like that's kind of the vibe. Like, you could try to attack my integrity all you want to, but I'm going to stand firm in what I believe in, whether you believe it or not. I don't care. I'm following the guidelines the way that I see fit, and I think that you're doing wrong. And the Five of Pentacles here. I feel like this is Justin. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to help Justin. No, he's not barefoot in the snow, but I do believe that he's going to assist him. He's going to find favor in him, and he's going to help him to get that support, bring him in out of the cold. Because, like I said, that's what Blake is trying to do. She's trying to destroy Justin to where he has absolutely, I'm not going to say that he can't rebuild it, but his future, people wanting to work with him, like, he has a message that he's trying to put out there. And then for this prissy ass woman to come up in there, it's wrong. So, and then we have the Seven of Cups. So with the Seven of Cups, this usually asks for the person to not get caught up in the glamour. And I think that's exactly what it is. I'm not going to get caught up in all, like, if you tried to pay me, hell no. You're trying to, you know, slip some information in here because you think that that's going to help your case, hell no. He's definitely, he has options on how he could go about it, and I think that he's going to exercise that truth. I think that I don't think that he will be swayed, but I will say that I thought the same thing about Diddy, and you see what's happening with him. He got some punishment, but not enough. So let me see here. I want to get some more information on the Seven of Cups. Why is the Seven of Cups here? Yeah, I kind of feel like he's like, I'm not trying to fall for the fantasy. Oh, yeah. See, the Queen of Swords, and even though this is a man that we're talking about, this is a woman that is about truth and integrity. You know what I mean? He's not going to play that. Not going to play it at all. He's a lot smarter than what she thinks that he is. And the fact that Blake is trying to create all this smog or fog, if you will. She has that little knife right there. It's like, I'm about to slice through all of this bullshit. You know, you're trying to feed me fantasy bullshit, which is what they were saying. Like, this is all empty conjecture. I think that's how you say that word. Fantasies that you are believing in your mind, and he's going to see it for exactly what it is. So, tough titty to her, but what did you think was going to happen, you know? So, all right, let's go ahead and close this out. I'm actually pretty drained today, so sorry I'm not as passionate as I usually would be, because I was doing readings on Facebook, trying to put myself out there, and I'm exhausted. And I got one more reading to do after this. That is not related to this case, but I'm going to do a reading on Chris Brown. Alright, so God, what messages do you have to tie this all together? Right there. Have faith. Do what you love. And I think what that is, that's why he is as respected as he is. Like, he does not play. I would like to do some more research on him. And again, for those that don't agree with what I'm saying, I mean, I would love to hear why you disagree with that. Like, what type of person do you perceive him as? But at the end of the day, please make note that we technically do not understand the mindset. You know, there's a lot of people that we love and they do things that don't make any sense to us. So we are quick to judge based off of what we don't understand. Like, for example, because I mean, I got caught up in that and I was like, you know, why would he reject Justin's defamation case? And I guess based off of the evidence, he could not prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was exactly what was going on. Now, if he had evidence of Blake 100% saying, I'm going to create this smear campaign, or I'm going to say this and this so that I could take Justin Baldoni down so that I could get credits for his film, then he would have had her right then and there. Just like with Ryan. They're doing all of this for him, honestly. And I think that's why he's not going to fall for it, because... And I also kind of feel like it's... I'm going to deny it because I kind of want to see how she's going to go about this. I want to see how far she's going to go. And that's... yeah. The Hanged Man. Reassess. Okay, and then we have Wake Up Call. Let me look at Reassess real quick. Because basically to go over something. As Retreat, Reassess. Hold on, y'all. Okay, 62. Are presented conditions in your life leading you in circles or down dead end locks? Are you working hard but finding little satisfaction? Do you feel as though you have lost your way? So let's see here. The divine energy is calling for you to reassess your direction. Slow down and get clear about your intentions. Are you leaping before you look? What are you considering? Or, I'm sorry, what are you doing without consideration? What is the time? Oh, what is taking your time without fulfilling your heart? Step back and decide whether you're going to, where you're going to go, and who are you doing it for, or why. Do not drift under the influences of others or your own fears. Check in with your true self. Where must you pull back if necessary and turn around? As a divine being, you are free to create the life you want. We already said that. So, okay, I'm getting this right here because, like I said, at the very beginning, he's very disappointed in Blake. Now, I don't know if it's going to come out that she tried to slip him some money or whatever the case may be, but he's very disappointed because it's a slap in the face to him. And you also got to think about the other individuals that she's tried to gaslight into believing her story. Yeah. She's very immature minded, and like I said, he's studying her. But yeah, he's going to balance that all out, and I think that he's definitely going to help Justin in the long run. He's going to look at the one that was hurting the most. So he's definitely going to reassess this, and I think that you have the power to create the life you love. Remember that or whatever, but I feel like this is a major wake-up call to Blake or anybody else. I don't know why people continue to do this. After what happened to Johnny, and there's more cases out here. where individuals, whether they're a man or a woman, are accused of heinous things and they are 100% innocent. But because they have a bruised ego or somebody rejected them or whatever the case may be, they just think that they could just ruin somebody's life. It's not going to be good for her. So honestly, what my opinion is about him, I think that he's playing it cool. I don't think that he's trying to manipulate this case in any type of way. Because, like I said, though he denied the motion for Justin's case, you know, he's also denied Blake for trying to create a gag order. And there's some other, also, she demanded that his phone records, I think, or maybe text messages or something would be revealed, which is so funny. It's okay for you to demand all these things, but you be redacting the hell out of stuff. You be trying to hold in so much stuff until everything got revealed, and now you sitting here like, oh goodness. But the judge was like, no, that's a little too personal. You know what I mean? And with the videotape, I had to reel in my emotions about that, because it's not like it was publicly viewed by everyone else. Yes, in a way that was disrespectful, but he had to do that to see if what Blake was saying was true. Now, I do know, I can't remember his name, forgive me, but the one that had the baby, you know, he had to pay a fine because of the fact that he did not release the video when they asked for him to. So it does appear that, you know, there was some shady stuff going on. Did it happen that way? No, I don't think so. But let the judge take a look at it. And I don't even think that he's going to be looking at it like trying to be perverted or whatnot. I think he's looking for exactly what type of quote-unquote pornographic stuff was going on, which there wasn't. You know, I don't think so. So, I'm sorry that his wife had to go through that, but let's just reel in our emotions on it and just understand that this is to prove the facts. This isn't to try to disrespect a woman's body or anything like that. We have to get to the truth. Even if we have to, you know, dig through dog poop to find the diamond ring. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody want to do that. But if there's something worth digging for up in there, then we're going to do what we can to get that gem. And unfortunately, I mean, she had to. Yeah, I get it. But put it like that. I do understand the frustration with that. And it still upsets me, but I do understand why it had to have been done. You know, so let's just continue to watch this case and see how everything is going down. Take a break also from watching these, because sometimes people will manipulate the content because they want to get the views, you know, like they'll hold the true information that you're looking for towards the end of the video. So you got to go through all this stuff. So you're like, yo, I don't care about this. I just want to watch this segment. But then you got to go through all that nonsense. So ease your anxiety about that. If you're really anxious and hoping for the best for Justin, I'm sure he is too. But just look to the true respected creditor, or yeah, is that a word? Credit? No, the professional ones to give you that information that you need, and even me, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm doing this free-handedly. Like I said, I don't know this person. I don't know, but from the energy that I could tell, I don't think that he is trying to be shady for either side. I think that he really puts in a lot of hard work. and he's going to do exactly what he can. Some people might look at him as being aggressive, but he's like, you know what? Whatever I got to do to get the truth out, so be it. And I just don't, I think that she's going to have a rude awakening. So please forgive me because I'm tired, and, you know, the retrograde really has me blah, blah, blah. I probably just need to take a nap. But like I said, I got one more video to do. So if you enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. I love the feedback, so please continue to do that. Hit that subscribe button if you are interested in watching more videos. I have, I think, 300 or 200 and something videos, so you can scroll down there and see if there's something that you are interested in, or if you have any requests. I would love to do a reading on whomever. If you would like a personal reading, I am not charging. My email address is in my, I think it's in my bio, but I'll drop it down in the description box if you are interested in things. But I do want to put it out there that I do not, okay? I do not do celebrity readings. I'm not going to read if you and a celebrity are soulmates. You might be soulmates, but you know what? You have to be in the position for that to happen, okay? So I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to encourage that, because that's dangerous for you and the person that you have an infatuation with, okay? I do not do health readings. I do not do legal matters, even though this is kind of a legal matter, but I'm talking about with you specifically. I won't do that. I don't do lottery, okay? And I'm not going to tell you when God is going to take you home. I'm not going to try to tell you how to get back at someone that's hurt you. So I would appreciate it if you would refrain from asking such questions. And understand that if there is a question that I feel uncomfortable with, I'm not going to honor it, okay? So that is all that I have. And that's it. So remember this: when life gives you lemons, always keep it zesty. I'm so tired, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. Real quick, I was thinking about this card as I was putting them away. So with the Ace of Cups here, and then with, where did it go? The Hanged Man. I feel like like I said, he is definitely taking this. I feel like she's going to hang herself per se, but I also think that because of this, him being determined to find out the truth, he is deliberately sitting on that. And so there might be a delay where he's going to go through, which I know that they do. He's going to have to go through all of the details and whatnot, and then it's going to be like that, aha. You know what I mean? And I think that so we could hear something on the 1st. We could possibly hear something on the 12th. I'm not for certain. But I do see him as taking the time to really see things from a different perspective. I don't know if I said that before. I'm tired, so I'm gone. Bye.